What's up guys, it's Cartridge, and today I'm going to be telling you guys my mains and goals for 2022. Now it's crazy to think that 2021 is almost over, but as we go into 2022, here are my goals for cubing and my channel. So let's start out with my channel. We're actually getting pretty close to 2,000 subscribers, which is pretty insane. So my goal for 2022 is either 2,500 or 3,000, which would be awesome. Alright, now let's get to the actual cubing part. Now for 2x2, I'm going to be using the GAN 251 Pro. As I mentioned in Best Cubes of 2021, this cube does have its flaws, but when I'm turning well, I can get good times on it, so that's why I'll be using this cube. In 2020, I had some really ambitious goals for 2x2 going into 2021. I wanted to learn a bunch of giant outsets that I never actually got to learning. I think I learned all of EG1, but I forgot most of it. So in 2022, I want to relearn EG1 and maybe EG2, and my goal is sub 2. Now for 3x3, this is definitely the event I practiced most this year. And the cube I'll be using in 2022 is the Yo Cube. As you guys know, I love the WRM 2021, and before the Yo Cube even came out, I set up most cubes with the lube combination. So this cube is pretty much perfect for me. I really like this feeling, and even when the cube sort of died out, after adding a little bit of Mystic, it revived, which is really nice. Now my goal for this year was to get sub 9. I think it was also to get sub 8. Right now I'm averaging like 8.1, 8.2. I do have a couple of sub 8 average of 100s, but I'd really like to take that to average of 1,000. And I really want a confident sub 8 global next year. And maybe, if possible, sub 7.5. I don't really know if that's possible though. Now for 4x4, I'm going to be using 2 cubes. Let's start out with the Zilong. This is the YJ Zilong Mini 4x4. It's only 56 millimeters, which is the size of a 3x3. But I really like its crunchy feel and fast turning. Next up with the Aosu WRM. This cube is a bit bigger, but it has a similar feel. It's really loud and crunchy. Sometimes I don't like how much effort you need to put into a turn, but otherwise this is a pretty solid cube. Right now I average around 44, and I haven't practiced much 4x4 this year, but my goal for 2022 is to get sub 40. Now for 5x5, I'm also using the Mini 5x5. It's a really solid puzzle, and I like the smaller size. The MGC just felt too big for me when I used it, and this feels like a smaller MGC, so this is perfect for me. Right now I average like 135 or something like that. I haven't practiced much 5x5 again, so my goal for 2022 is to get sub 130. Or maybe sub 125, depending on how much I practice. Now for 6x6,
I'm pretty garbage at this event.
I only think I've done a couple solves this entire year, maybe like 5 or something like that. But yeah, I'm really trash at this event, so maybe I can get into it in 2022, who knows. But I really hate when I get triple parity, so probably not. My main, of course, is the MGC. This is definitely the best 6x6 on the market. I average like 3 minutes and 40 seconds maybe, I'm not sure. So sub 330 or sub 3 would be nice next year. Now for 7x7, it's pretty much the same story. I'm pretty garbage, but I use the MGC. And I've also only done a couple of solves this year. My only goal last year was to get a solve below 10 minutes so my timer wouldn't shut off. And I achieved that, yay! So I no longer average DNF on 7x7. For 7x7, my only goal is to maybe get a solve under 8 minutes or 7 minutes. I don't know, I don't plan on practicing this event. And for the final end by end, we have 3x3 one-handed. I really dislike OH, probably just because I'm not good at it, but my main is going to be the WRM 2019. This is one of my favorite 3x3s of all time. It has a really nice feel, and it's also pretty small. And when I practice, I average like 20 to 23. Again, I haven't done a solve in a while, but maybe I'll get into OH this year, because I'm really garbage at it and I need to improve. So my goal is sub 20. Okay, those are all the end by ends. Now let's get into the side events. So starting off with Square 1, this is one of my favorite events. This year I'll be using the Angstrom MGC Square 1. Despite the MGC's flaws, this puzzle is great. It was used to set the former NAR by Max Xiao. So sad, former NAR. But yeah, this cube has really nice turning, it's really smooth and fast, and I can get pretty good times with it. Right now I average like 9 to 10, but my times get really bad whenever I get parity. So I gotta find the motivation to learn CSP, and maybe 2 out PBL if I'm really motivated. My goal for 2022 is sub 9 or sub 8, depending on how much I practice. But someone please motivate me or force me to learn CSP and 2 out PBL. I'm not so sure about PBL, but I'll definitely be learning CSP. Moving on to Megaminx, I crushed my goals for Megaminx this year. At the end of 2020, I really wasn't practicing Megaminx. I averaged like 2 minutes, and my goal was sub 115. If you've been watching my channel for a couple months, you've probably seen my Megaminx videos, and now I average around 48 seconds. I stopped practicing a while ago, but every now and then I'll do a Megaminx solve, and they're pretty average. But I kind of want to get back into Megaminx this year, and maybe get sub 45 if I practice enough. The thing about Megaminx is you have to grind a lot, so I'll have to be practicing a lot to get good. Oh, also, the cube I'm using is the Diane V2. I believe this is the best on the market. This cube is really light and small, which fits my turning style, and I like the fast and smooth feel. So moving on to Scube, I'm using the Gans cube, which is pretty much the best cube on the market. I really can't recommend anything else. This is the best cube. But my turning is so garbage. So my goal for Scube is to get sub 4 maybe. I average 4 to 6 with Stairs Intermediate, so maybe finish up Stairs Advanced and then get fast. The biggest thing I have to fix is my turning. Oh, that was pretty decent. Pretty much the same story for Pyraminx. I don't really practice this event. But for 2022, I'll be using the GAN Enhanced. I still average around 4 to 6 with L4E, and I really need to improve my tips. So when I improve that, maybe I can get sub 4 consistently, but I'm not sure. But my main may change soon since I'm getting Steven's Little Magic, so we'll see about that. And now finally, for the best event, we have Clock. And of course, there's no other cube to use but the Chi. The Chi clock is definitely the best clock on the market. It is effortless pins and dials. And if you're getting a Shengshao or a Lingao, I don't know what you're doing. On clock, I average 8 to 9 seconds. And in 2022, I think I should practice clock more because, I don't know, it's kind of fun sometimes. But yeah, my goal for clock is sub 8. And I think I can do that with a little bit of practice. So yeah, those are all my mains and goals for 2022. So yeah, that's going to conclude it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. We're getting pretty close to 2,000, which is insane. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.